It started when the phone rang. Chrysalis sat up and raised her eyebrow. The phone she had stolen shouldn't have been able to receive calls. It was just to hack into any phone lines to possibly spy on Equestria. It rang again. She shifted on the couch upon which she had been lounging and took the headset off.
Hello?
Yes, hello. My name is Legit Collector from the Equestrian Revenue Service. I am calling to inform you that you are currently under investigation for tax evasion.
Chrysalis lightly laughed and shook her head.
Oh, is that all?
Our records indicate that you owe 6,999 bits and 2 cents. Should you fail to pay, you will be sentenced to no less than 9 years in an equestrian penitentiary.
Oh, well then, I suppose I had better pay.
Chrysalis's smile turned predatory.
However, you must give me something in return for my payment.
What?
Your teeth.
Oh, goodbye!
It started when the phone rang. Maud Pie slowly, carefully put Boulder down and walked over to the phone. She blinked and put the headset on. Hello?
Yes, hello. This is Legit Collector from the Equestrian Revenue Service. I am calling to inform you that you are currently under investigation for tax evasion.
Maud said.
Yes. Now, before we begin, I must ask you if you are a princess or a powerful unicorn or some other manner of powerful creature.
Maud blinked again and looked down at herself. No. The voice on the other end sighed in relief.
Oh, good, good. Now, may I have your name, please?
No.
Ma'am, it is law that you must identify yourself to an agent of the equestrian government. Now, may I have your name?
Who are you looking for?
Ma'am, you must...
You said I'm under investigation, so you already know who I am.
Ma'am, you owe the equestrian government 10,963 bits!
Maud shook her head. No.
Yes, you do!
Maud shook her head. No.
I insist that you do! And if you do not want to pay, then you'll be sentenced to no less than 9 years in an equestrian penitentiary.
Maud shook her head. No.
Stop saying that!
Maud blinked. Okay.
Now, there are several ways we can go about this. First...
You're a scammer, Maud said.
I am not! As I was saying...
Maud took the headset off and walked over to Boulder. She put the earpiece next to him, then walked away to go back to the courts that she had been examining.
Payment cards. Now, ma'am? Are you listening to me?
Boulder was neither listening to him nor a ma'am. He was, however, sitting there.
You know what you are? You are a terrible pony. You steal and lie about it. I'm trying to help you make it right.
Boulder was neither a lying thief nor a pony. He was, however, sitting there.
You know what? Fuck you! I hope you rot in jail forever! You are the worst ever!
Boulder was neither the worst, nor capable of rotting like a living thing. He was, however, sitting there.
Yeah! Fuck you!
It started when the phone rang. Trixie, the great and powerful Trixie to you, frowned and sat up in her hammock in her wagon and lit her horn, floating the headset over to her. Hello? Who is this? How did you get this number?
Yes, hello. This is Legit agent collector from the Equestrian Revenue Services. I'm calling to inform you that you are currently under investigation for tax evasion. If you do...
No, Trixie does not have to pay income taxes. Trixie growled. Trixie is sick of these calls.
Ma'am, all ponies must pay an income tax, regardless of desire. Failure to do so may result in seizure of property, bank accounts, passports, and any other things we may use to pay off your debt, on top of spending 10 years in an equestrian penitentiary for tax evasion. Should you not have the means to pay off your debt, you shall spend another 2 years in prison.
Debtor's prison has been legal since Nightmare Moon, dummy. Trixie grumbled. Besides, Trixie doesn't need to pay income tax because Trixie doesn't have an income tax and never has.
Oh, let me see. Ah, yes, right. That's the issue. It isn't income tax. It's the inheritance money.
Trixie doesn't have an inheritance either, Trixie said flatly. Neither does she have a patron or any third-party means of supporting herself.
Ma'am, are you Trixie's lawyer or some other entity representing her?
No, this is Trixie.
Are you referring to yourself in third person?
Yes.
Why in Equestria would you feel the need to do that?
When you are your own promoter, you develop some quirks. Trixie replied with a satisfied smile. Now then, as Trixie was saying, she doesn't have to pay income tax because she doesn't have an income. Trixie supports herself from tips.
Tips?
Trixie nodded. Yes, Trixie is a traveling magician. She supports herself via a tip jar she has during her performances. Under Section 4-3-C-5 subsection 9-C of the Equestrian Tax Code, Trixie cleared her throat and levitated a thick blue book over to her, flipping through until she found the page she wanted. Trixie quotes, "Ponies who receive tips and other forms of payment not representing an official income shall not be required to declare them on their tax forms." And there are a bunch of these boring lines, but Trixie feels that she has read the pertinent part.
So, you are evading income tax?
Trixie shook her head. No, haven't you been listening? Trixie only ever receives tips, which aren't taxable. Trixie does not know how many times she has had to explain this to you ponies. Trixie has paid a tax lawyer a lot of her tips to confirm that this is totally legal. Trixie chuckled and said to herself, if a little dubious.
Well, No, you're taking that from an outdated source. Yeah, that's it. We changed the tax code to include tip amounts over 100 bits. Anything above that is taxable and must be declared.
Well, when did you change the law? Trixie asked, closing the book and tossing it aside.
We changed it at the start of the last tax season.
Trixie shrugged. Well then, Trixie supposes that she is still in the clear, because her tips have only just become eligible income. Also, by the way, may Trixie have your IRS identification number?
My what?
IRS identification number. Trixie has done a lot of research into tax laws and the IRS. And according to... Trixie grabbed the book again and opened it up to a bookmarked page. Section 6-2-C-9-B-8, subsection C-3 of the Equestrian Tax Code, and Trixie quotes again, upon request, a member of the ERS must give their name and identification number. Trixie put the book aside again. And there's more boring legal stuff, but you have to give Trixie your ID number.
It's,
144 I am a scammer, Trixie guessed. Trixie is tired of this. She hopes you get attacked by an Ursa Major. Goodbye. It started when the phone rang. Twilight Sparkle and Tempest Shadow both looked up from the books they had been engaged in and stared at the phone for a few seconds before both got to their hoofs and walked over to it. It's probably for you, Tempest said. Twilight shrugged and nudged the phone over to Tempest. Maybe, but this will give you a good chance to interact with some ponies. You can't just hang around me all the time. Think of this as another friendship lesson. Tempest quietly sighed as the phone rang again. Perhaps, but I think it's better that you do it. Your friends are the ponies who call here the most. Well, then you can talk to one of my friends. Twilight elbowed Tempest and motioned to the phone with a wing. Come on. You'll do fine. I'll even put on speaker so I can listen to how you do. If you say so, Tempest said with a shake of her head. Very well, Twilight. I'll try it your way. I know you'll do great. Twilight pushed the speaker button and walked over to a stack of books to refile. I'll be right here. Tempest took another deep breath, took the headset off the receiver, and placed it over her head. Good afternoon. This is Tempest at Castle Friendship. To whom am I speaking?
Yes, this is Legit Collector from the Equestrian Revenue Services. We are calling to inform you that you are currently under investigation for tax evasion.
Tempest raised an eyebrow. I thought I'd been pardoned of all crimes against Equestria.
Yes. Well, not this one. We were not made aware of it. In front of me, I have a warrant for your arrest, which I will sign and deliver to the local law enforcement if you do not pay the required amount of 9,255 bits and 30 cents. Failure to pay will result in seizure of all property, bank accounts, passports, and other items you may use to pay off the debts. On top of that, you will also receive 10 years in an equestrian penitentiary.
Tempest's eyes narrowed, and she began grinding her hoof into the floor.
If you pay the full amount now, we will consider the matter closed. If you fight the matter in court and lose, you will be subject to the penalties I have mentioned.
Tempest bared her teeth and ground her hoof into the floor hard enough that she began cracking the crystal. Oh, you can hang up on her, Tempest, Twilight said, rushing over to her. She's just the... How dare you? Tempest growled. How dare you attempt to scam me?
Miss Tempest, this is not a scam.
I have commanded armies. I have been at the head of the force that conquered your pathetic nation. I have turned your princesses into stone and chained your fellow subjects. Tempest roared. She tore the headset off and threw it on the table. I will not be insulted by the likes of you. Twilight flattened her ears and gingerly walked to Tempest. Tempest, there's no reason to get this angry. It's just a scammer. Remember your friendship lessons? Tempest scoffed and wheeled around. Friendship lessons? Your nation is weak to allow one such as her to even exist. In the Storm King's nation, we would have put her to the sword. If she... Twilight sighed. Here she went again. She learned months ago that it was just best to let Tempest tire herself out instead of attempting to stop her. Twilight picked up the phone headset and put it on before looking back to Tempest, who had begun ranting and pacing. I'm pretty sure that I told you about the risks involved in scamming.
Oh, it's you. What the heck is her problem?
Well, she's been through a lot lately, and she doesn't handle frustration well. We're working with her on it. And if I ever get my hooves on her, I will not show her. Was she's been raised in an environment that's not quite as peaceful as ours.
I see. So, she's going to go on like that.
Twilight looked back at Tempest and saw that Starlight had poked her head into the room. Starlight sighed and gingerly walked up to her. Hey there, buddy. The sun's going down. Standards! You need to prove to her that you are not one to be trifled with, Sparkle. That is the only way you're going to be respected in... Twilight shook her head. Yeah. Of all the ponies you've called, she's probably the one you least want to get her hoofs on you. She wasn't lying about leading an army and taking over Canterlot. Plus, she learned how to torture and stuff. So there's that too.
Oh, I get it. This is another attempt to get me all freaked out while you have a laugh at me. Well, it won't work, Miss Sparkle. You're not going to fool me this time. You're lying about this Tempest pony and what she does. Go fuck yourself.
Twilight flinched when she heard crashing behind her, alongside Starlight's futile attempt to calm Tempest. She sighed and shook her head, gently placing the headset back onto the receiver. I'm really not. Support me on Patreon and Ko-fi. Links in the description. Thanks for listening and be sure to subscribe. Good night, everypony.